Charmel Gillen,
Yes, kwa CSKT.
Carol Langford,
Here.
Len Tooteeth,
Here.
Bing Matt, Ellie Bundy, Martin Charlo,
Present.
Mike Dolson,
I'm here.
James Steele Senior.
This morning, please.
Creator, today we ask that you be with us to help guide the decisions that we need to make on behalf of our tribal membership. We ask especially that you be with all of the families who are struggling with the loss of loved ones. We ask that you please just be with them and provide them comfort and help them to find peace in whatever way they can. We ask that you be with all of us as we still battle the COVID and our school children, and please just help us to navigate this process and continue to watch over and protect us. In your name we ask, amen.
Set of minutes from November 4th. Abby, on page 2, third paragraph, if you could change my statement to that is an issue the department heads are responsible for, not council. Thanks.
Madam Chair. Go ahead, Ellie. Abby, if you could add under my absentee notice that I was attending Attorney General Austin Knudsen's Human Trafficking Symposium. Thank you.
Martin?
Thank you. On. Okay. On the update that I gave on the investigation, can I just put the investigation of the incident that happened in August? And then I'd also like to specify they'll end the end of this month, like November, and put like November, please. Thank you.
I also mentioned that what was the cost of Ron Trahan's investigation too?
I don't feel that would be relevant at this time.
I would agree, Martin, but I'd still like to know what that cost was too. Thank you. So don't include it. Are there any other corrections?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes with corrections.
Okay, motion by Len.
Madam Chair, I'll second it.
Second by Bing. There any other corrections? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Ellie abstains, motion carries. Okay, go
Shelley, question.
ahead, Len.
Do you know if we're all caught up with the minutes as of getting those out on the Charcusta and getting them out online?
I can have Jen follow up on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so we have an agenda today. We have Brian Lipscomb as a walk-in, and do we have another walk-in, Jen?
Yes, we have Greg Dupuy, and I sent you guys that in an email and a walk-in, and I asked Rhonda Sweeney to be on for that discussion.
Is there anything else? Council?
I have an addition as well, and open, please.
Sorry, Martin, what did you have?
An addition and open, please.
Is it your COVID update?
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I have something too.
Okay. Is it for open, Bing?
Yeah,
So can you tell us what the issue is? We had some discussion last week about wanting to know what the issues are before we address them.
When did we talk about that? Madam Chair? Was that in the closed meeting, Madam Chair?
Bing, can you tell us what your issue is?
sure. What I wanted to talk about, ask council, if being it's going to be a 4-day weekend, and after reading the COVID report from personnel yesterday, I was just wondering if there's a chance that we could get them to come in and spray down the complex, with you get it all sprayed out, so and sanitized, so that people, when they go back to work on Monday, everything will be sanitized for them.
Okay, thank you. Carol and then Ellie?
Yeah, Madam Chair, you just mentioned that we talked about it last week. Was it in a council meeting? I don't recall that.
Did you have an item?
I did, but I think I'll just bring it up during the utility board questions. It's regarding the questions.
Okay, Ellie?
Thanks, Madam Chair. I have an issue for open regarding the linking in Native communities grant, and a request for a resolution to proceed.
Okay, anything else? With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda with additions. Motion by Ellie. Second by Mike. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, Brian?
Madam Chair, members of council, as promised last week here with a big check. So photo op for the Charcusta News. I had quite a lengthy interview with Bernie going through the slideshow yesterday. So I'm anticipating he'll have quite an article to put together into the paper next week, and we can put the check with that. So in a moment, let's pose for a picture and we can get somebody to snap it with my iPhone and we'll just email it to him. And then I brought another hat today too for a quick inquiry. So I'll change hats for a second. USS Montana is on schedule for commissioning in May. And at some point I need to come in and visit with all of you about thoughts on tribal participation at the commissioning itself back in Newport, Virginia. So that's all in the works. So that's coming. But at this point, we were looking for something to put on the ship in a cabinet. So the ship, those who serve aboard her will always kind of be able to see pieces of Montana. So I thought about a peace pipe, and I visited with Gene Sorrell, and he said, "Oh, absolutely, that'd be a great idea. Let me get you one." And no kidding, about 10 days later, Dwight Billadu had made me a pipe for presentation to the USS Montana. Very nice, quite impressive. His daughter made a beaded bag to go along with it. So it was a little more than I anticipated. And so I showed it around a little bit and everybody went, "Holy smokes, that's more than what should go in the cabinet. That should ride in a special framed box." So we're in the process of designing that, and it should hang in a place of prominence within the ship. So there's a place, I guess, where everybody comes down, all the visitors and everything, into the sub itself, and right, you look through the ladder and it's going to hang right there. And so, I'll work with the culture committees about what should we say about that, because I thought, a peace pipe, this is really a vessel of peace. We hopefully don't have to go to war or be the ones that cause war, but hopefully we're the ones that bring peace with this vessel. And so I thought appropriate. So I'm thinking we should dedicate that pipe with Dwight with some small ceremony here, along with a commemorative ringing of the bell, which is also a commemorative bell that will go with the ship as well. So was thinking of some sort of event, wondered if you guys had done anything for honoring of the Veterans Day yet. And if not, maybe we could do this over a quick lunch ceremony or something next week. So quick idea there. See what you guys thought.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Cool.
Okay.
Carol, you said next week, isn't it Veterans Day this week?
Well, Veterans Day is Thursday,
Thursday.
correct? So I didn't think we could pull it off before Thursday. That'd be a little short. And sometimes good ideas don't come until the last minute. And I didn't think of this till Monday. So yesterday. So anyway, thought I'd bounce it off you guys to see what you thought. Cool. Okay. I'll work on arrangement. I'll work with Jen on scheduling. It'll probably be Thursday. And then I'll talk with Dwight and Gene, try to get them here and maybe get a drum and see what we can do.
Cool.
Okay. So with that, let's take a photo. Was thinking maybe there with tribal council that are here on each side. Would that work?
Sure. Do we have the Charcusta?
No, we don't.
No?
I don't think. So I told Bernie, no problem. I'll take it on my iPhone. I'll email it to him.
Oh, okay. All right. So
He's got a shaky hand. So
Okay. I'm too shaky.
I'll do it on this, I'll do it on this side now.
Okay, now last year we took the photo and it was like this. And those were rough, and I didn't think about it. First thing I went, that jacket,
Hey, can we balance this out? Can one of you guys, another one stand over here? So we have 3 council on this side and 3 on that side of Brian. There you go, Shama. No, then we have 3 council, Brian, then 3 council. Brian down just a little. There you go. Ready? Okay, now you guys really smile with your masks on. Smile with your eyes. Okay, I took about 3 of them, Brian. Oh, you're not asking.
Oh, it was upside down. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, yeah, looking.
Okay, awesome. You guys have a great day.
Okay, next up we have Greg. Greg, maybe if you could use that other mic while he sanitizes that one, yep.
We haven't sanitized these yet. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
I would just like to verbalize my proposal that the tribe enter into an agreement with the state of Montana and initiate a $1 million lottery similar to what the state of Montana does. I believe it would be a viable thing to do, giving the article in the newspaper recently where they sold $250,000 $20 tickets and 6 days they're out. So I believe that something like this properly run would be a revenue producer for the tribes, and they could I guess state must be doing something here. Oh. So anyway, that's my proposal. Better looking guy than me, I guess. Do I start over or my?
No, we heard you. We're just
Okay.
having IT issues
Okay.
today and every day.
Okay. So that was what I wanted to bring to council this morning and ask them to consider it.
Okay, when we received your email, I forwarded it to Rhonda. She was out yesterday, so she's probably just had a chance to look at it this morning. So she is online if you want to respond, Rhonda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I just heard the proposal.
Rhonda, we can't hear you.
Pardon? Am I on mute?
Talk louder, Rhonda. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Like being on mute. Yes, I have Melissa with me and we will certainly take
It
a look.
looks like you're not muted, but we can't hear you. So we will get IT here in a moment.
We'll come down. Love it. Everything works. Until it doesn't. Yeah.
Abby, can you hear us?
Abby, what about now?
Yes, I can hear everyone.
Ding.
Yep.
We can't hear her.
So
Len, can you?
we'll take a break while we get our IT
Try it
down
now,
here.
see if they can hear us. Abby, can you hear us now? Or can you try to talk, please?
She does on the chat, I can hear everything.
I can hear everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
I can hear everyone.
Okay, let's proceed. Meanwhile, Rhonda came down to the complex or down to the chambers, so.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have with me Melissa Schlichting. Some of you may know her, for others who don't. Will introduce her later again when we're on at 10. Melissa's worked in gaming before, so I asked her to come down. I understand Greg has a great proposal. We haven't had a chance to review it, but we'll do so. And I just wanted to give you a heads up that a lottery is class 3, so we'd have to have an agreement with the state of Montana. So if you want to proceed, we will explore the proposal and get back to you.
I just wanted to say, I do know that there are some tribes like the Nez Perce tribe in Idaho does do lottery with the state. So there are some things that we could look at that might be an example of what we might be able to propose.
Okay. Well, thanks for bringing that forward, Greg. Thank you. Thanks, Rhonda, and welcome, Melissa. Okay. Martin, did you want to go next for forestry?
All right, yeah, thank you. This will be a, yeah, I guess, you know, we are in a world today that, yeah, I just want to send my deepest condolences. This isn't really COVID related at all. I guess maybe I should have thought about that, but, a former councilman lost his son over the weekend, and someone that I knew pretty well from my days out at Kicking Horse, and you know, mutual friend. You know, he and I weren't you know, real good friends, but I you know, he had good friends that were my friends, and you know, just a really great, you know, son, dad, brother, uncle. You know, just really sorry to hear of his passing over the weekend. And send my condolences to Dennis and his family and everyone out there. And I just found out again, someone else, you know, like a 35-year-old passed because he wasn't taking his, I shouldn't get into it. I'm sorry. I literally found out at the store on the way here. And then we have COVID on top of this. You know, the other day I reported that we were third highest cause of death was COVID. you know, I don't know, at this point, I could try to pull the numbers, but I don't know that it matters anymore to people. People have their own narrative and they will live that. And whatever that be, that's their choice and everything else. I just want to make sure that, you know, people take this seriously. I have a pretty hellacious cold right now, and I'm so thankful that it's not COVID. You know, it's probably the flu or whatever, but you know, it's not. Well, it might be. Who knows? It's not COVID. So, you know, the other thing I want to do today is, you know, thank all the people that we kind of don't always acknowledge, like our maintenance workers and our custodian staff, and you know, all the behind the scenes people, you know, our secretaries, our door monitors, all of them that, you know, don't always know where COVID is at and don't always know which people are adhering to the policies that we have and wiping things down and wearing masks. And you know, so I want to make sure that we always acknowledge them, make sure that we can always thank our healthcare workers. They are literally putting their lives at risk every day, you know, helping our communities, helping people that are sick, and you know, and so the least we can do is make sure that we thank all those people as an organization, you know, just as people. You know, I think that's, you know, if you know people that are in that field, please extend a thank you to them. You know, and everyone else, I'm sure, you know, I'll forget people, but because I could spend all day thanking everyone that serves us and serves their communities and does it out of the goodness of their heart, because it's something that we really need to get back to. And we really need to get back to helping one another and not asking what's in it for me while I do it. You know, selfless acts are great. And as we get into this holiday season, you know, keep that in mind as we go forward, that there are a lot of people that are less fortunate than us. You know, we all don't have it great, you know, but there are always people out there that are, you know, less fortunate. And I feel that, you know, I feel that at times we take things for granted as a people, and I'll stop there and hope that I'm not even gonna share numbers today, just because I'm a little, like I said, the things hit hard at times. And finding out that, you know, a neighbor passed and he's, God, you know, people like this shouldn't be passing. So I'm sorry for the, you know, the kind of off subject comments, but and then two, I don't remember either that we discussed having to tell our issues before we speak either. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Next up, we have Forrester.
That's quick, special. Thank you. Can you hear us? We're
Yeah, we can hear you.
okay.
Go ahead.
It's been a little scratchy in and out on some spots here this morning, so hopefully we'll get through it. We have a request for you today. It's agenda packets, pages 2 and 3. And I'll let Steve go ahead and explain the request.
Good morning to everybody. Thank you. What we got today is Dupuy Logging bought a timber sale, or was awarded the timber sale through a bidding process called the Alder Ditch Logging Unit this last year. And there's a clause within the contract that he was to guarantee 400 tons of material cut and paid. And what we're asking for, what Dupuy Logging is asking for, is to be waived from that penalty due to the circumstances of last summer's fires and the mill situation. As you probably know, Idaho Forest Group, or St. Regis Mill, is in the process of shutting down, and they kind of closed out some of their contracts. So it's been difficult for Kendall to find market for the wood, and also the fire season and the hoot owls curtailed his ability to log. And where he was logging in Alder Ditch was very dry, so he was very cautious about getting in there. And at the same time, he was working on other tribal timber sales, Sunny Slope and Magpie Salvage. So the current situation for his logging is that he is in the process of logging Alder Ditch right now, and he should be done with it within the month, if not a couple of weeks. So the bottom line is that we're asking for forgiveness and not to penalize him this penalty that's in the contract, and waive that penalty. The estimated value of that penalty would be a little over $1,000.
Comment, Ms. Fine?
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, just to clarify a little more, we put in this what we call a midterm end of the year cut and pay date requirement for contracts that span multiple years, in order to try to guarantee a certain amount of volume and revenue brought in for that year on these contracts. And this one was a pretty small cut and pay date requirement, just because of the timing of the sale. Was sold in late spring, early summer, and we knew it wasn't going to be much volume coming off there this year. And then the added on pressure from fires and hoot owl that inhibited his ability to get in there right away. So he brought forward a letter requesting this, and we feel that it's reasonable. And so we're bringing his request forward to waive the penalty.
One thing I'd like to clarify also is that this isn't an extension of the contract. The end date for the entire contract was September of 22. So he'll be done within like I said, within a month, and he's not due to be done until the end of 22, but he's almost there now.
Comment.
Go ahead, Lynn.
You know, I know we've worked with the tribal loggers in the past on these types of requests, and just knowing that the small logger contractors really have a tough time in this business, I would go ahead and make that motion to approve the request.
Okay, motion by Lynn to waive the contract penalty for Dupuy Logging. Second by Ellie. Question? All those in favor? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you,
Okay.
gentlemen.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too. Next up, we have Rich Jansen. His information starts on page 4 in the packet. Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Members of the tribal council, good morning. From Polson, Montana. Today, we're on page 5. And what we're asking for today is approval of capital equipment to support and aid in in the work that we will be doing as a tribe for the water compact. And what you see here is everything I got from Ruth and Suzanne Palmer, who may be on for support as well. She got these bids. These are the lowest bids that she could get on vehicles. Nothing local that we could find anywhere. And so she had to go outside of the norm to Dave Smith Auto. And we're just looking for approval for 3 trucks, as you can see there, and 1 SUV for a total amount of $169,233 for these 4 pickups. We're also utilizing some GSA that are available to us as well. Any questions? So this will be paid under the Water Compact Fund for implementation.
Martin?
Thank you. I'd make the motion to approve the expenditure.
Okay, motion by Martin to approve the capital request form. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? I'm sorry, Bing, I didn't get your vote.
I'm for.
Okay, motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Have a great day, tribal council members.
Thank you, you too. Next up, we have DHRD. Patricia, are you there? Patricia, are you there? Maybe we can come back to that.
Good morning. I don't know if you can you hear me?
Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
could hear you.
I was trying to call Constance. I was unable to get a hold of her, but we were asking to approval to waive a background check on Summer Rada for a home care provider position, as well as the UA, which is to waive our policy for immediate hire.
Okay, Carol is stepping away for, I guess, a conflict of interest. Martin, did you have something?
I just want clarification. Is it the background check and the UA or just the background check?
In order to start on a normal basis, Martin, you have to have the UA as well as the background check because you're working with a vulnerable population. And usually that's the same for CPS and APS, Adult Protective Services falls under elderly, it's part of the policy.
Thank you, Patricia. Charmel?
I'll wait if Martin wants follow-up.
Go ahead, Martin. I don't think we got the question answered, Patricia.
It is both. Yes, I'm sorry. We're asking to waive both. In the interim period, we are going to go back after and do both, Martin. It's just in the interim period.
I had emailed some questions yesterday and didn't get a response from anybody, but I was curious if, because the initial, the agenda request form doesn't really give us any information about what's being request, or, you know, why there's this waiver request. So I'm unsure what the reason is for waiving, if it's because you're backed up with background checks or don't have time to get them done right now, what kind of an emergency this might be. If this is a temporary waiver, meaning, you know, it's a critical timed situation. So I'd like to know a little bit more about that. The other thing that I was wondering is if our Director of Services had a chance to review this as well, since we now have that individual on staff. Thank you.
It looks like Lisa's in with Renee.
Madam Chair, Lisa's position is Director of Administration. Director of Services is Patricia Hibbler.
Constance just joined.
It's a relative to a relative caregiver for a relative. And it is a temporary request to waive the background in the UA in order for that individual to start immediately with that relative.
Follow up, then I would like to ask personnel what the circumstance is with the background check.
To executive session, please.
To executive?